If you've been on social media within the past few months, you've probably seen an article or a video talking about the dangers of plastic straws and its effects on turtles and our environment. Many Americans have taken a stand by removing plastic straws from their lives and using reusable metal straws. As revealed by Hillary Bruick in her 2018 article from Business Insider, many popular corporations are also removing plastic straws from their production lines. While straws can be very harmful to wildlife, there is another even more significant object found in our everyday lives that is having an even more detrimental impact on our environment: plastic water bottles. I believe that all Americans should stop buying plastic water bottles. By comparing the last few years to 100 years ago, our society has been making a change in the fight against plastic. But is it enough? Today, I will be sharing with you how plastic water bottles negatively affects our environment and ecosystem, as well as some personal benefits that you can get from taking plastic water bottles off of your shopping list. To understand the severity of this issue, we must first understand what makes plastic water bottles so dangerous. One of the biggest issues with plastic water bottles today is that they are not properly disposed of. Many people do not follow recycling regulations, and even those that do don't properly ensure that their plastic water bottles aren't finding their way into wildlife. As the Water Project states in their 2020 homepage, 1 out of every 5 bottles are sent to the recycling bin. The plastic in these water bottles contain various amounts of very dangerous chemicals that are extremely harmful for the environment. One of these very dangerous chemicals is PET. The biggest problem with this chemical is decomposition. Decomposition is a process of a material slowly breaking down or decomposing into the environment. It can happen in 2 main ways. First, with photodegradation. This is a process where the UV rays from the sun break the chemical bonds that are found within the plastic. Secondly, it can be broken down by various bacteria that slowly eat away at it. PET is such an incredibly strong component that it takes about 450 years just to decompose it. That's the lifespan of your child's life, your parents' lives, your grandparents' lives, and your great-grandparents' lives. It will take 5 generations for just 1 plastic water bottle to decompose. Americans are using more plastic water bottles quicker than they can decompose it. This creates trash islands that can be seen floating around the ocean. Loveday Wrights describes in her 2014 article from DW that plastic water bottles take hundreds of more years to decompose when sitting on top of water. She also states that while the plastic is decomposing, these trash islands are blocking waterways and destroying natural homes for the organisms that live in the ocean. This leads to the second dangerous chemical that is found in plastic water bottles: BPA. BPA, also known as bisphenol A, is a main ingredient in plastic water bottles. What makes this chemical so dangerous is that it can mimic natural hormones found within the animals. As Lauren Canesi reports in her research study with dose response, BPA disrupts the endocrine system within organisms. This causes many different issues within the kidney, liver, gallbladder, and can even lead to death. When plastic water bottles are just laying around the environment, many different wildlife can eat the remains, and this can cause a multitude of health issues. BPA is also known to disrupt the reproductive and developmental organs in aquatic organisms. Sarah Gibbons states in her 2019 article from National Geographic that the FDA has actually banned BPA from baby bottles and sippy cups, but still allow it to be regulated for plastic water bottles. This can turn right back around on us when we are ingesting the fish that are toxic from our own water bottles. Now that we understand the dangerous and harmful effects of plastic water bottles that they have on the environment, we will now look at the personal benefits that can impact an individual's life. The biggest and most important aspect of cutting plastic water bottles off of your shopping list is that you will save tons of money. Plastic water bottles are meant to be disposable, which means just after one use, they are tossed out. This leads you into a recurring cycle of disposing and repurchasing new plastic bottles. The average bottle holds about 16 fluid ounces of water, and the daily average recommended intake of water by the FDA is 64 fluid ounces. This means that a person has to drink 4 water bottles a day in order to reach this amount. When looking at the average cost of a 32-pack of water from Walmart, it cost about $4.96. After all of the math, this comes out to almost $150 a month just spent on water bottles. Imagine what other things you could do with an extra $150 in your pocket. Olivia Ramon describes in her 2019 article from Money Magazine that Americans can save thousands of dollars a year by switching to reusables. Another important factor to consider is the quality of water that are in these plastic water bottles. According to the Food and Water Watch Foundation, water from plastic water bottles are very similar and even worse to tap water. This foundation debunks the myth that just because the water is from a bottle, it doesn't make it safer than tap water. Jane Leonard describes in her 2020 article from Medical News Today that bottled water can have significantly higher contents of chlorine than tap water. When comparing the monthly price that buying plastic water bottles will cost you, you would expect to get a better quality of water, when in reality, it's no better than the water from your kitchen sink. Now that you are reconsidering your stance about buying plastic water bottles, you may be thinking, what do I do now? Aren't plastic water bottles more convenient? Wrong. Reusable water bottles have become much more popular because they require little maintenance and are relatively the same size as plastic water bottles. Plus, they are substantially cheaper and more easy to personalize, making you feel better about drinking water. Olivia Placha explains in her article from Lafayette College, using reusable water bottles is inexpensive and easy to follow through with. Many popular brands like Brita have even been releasing products that have small filters inside of them, making safe and tasty drinking water even more accessible to people. In addition to these physical benefits, by taking plastic water bottles off of your shopping list, you feel better knowing that you are doing your part in contributing to the climate and ecosystem issues that we are encountering in our world today. Think of the impact that we would have in the world if everyone stopped buying plastic water bottles. In conclusion, all Americans should stop buying plastic water bottles due to their harmful effects on the environment and the wildlife, and they can also personally benefit from this decision. As Holly Kundell urges in her article from Augsburg University, everyone has the power to make a difference. The choice of the consumer is what stands between an ocean full of plastic or a countrywide change of reducing these harmful chemicals in our world. Together, we can help the environment and others by stopping the use of plastic water bottles. Thank you.